Greetings everyone. So you made it to my favorite style of shellcode, the write to memory execute shellcode. Now this was implemented before, but done poorly, and it was done by Metasploit using MSF Venom. And I'm going to show you what most people do with it, and then how I made Rmutate highly improve on its capabilities. So starting off, let's look at C what was, so we can learn how to adjust for the features. MSF Venom tag P for payload, and I copied this from one of the payloads. I enter. Alright, so we get this here, and what this does here is we have the exec for execute, and it's going to be the Python strings in here, and this base64 code gets decoded, which shows the string. So to take a look at this, I'm going to show you a quick side note on how to use Rmutate. So if you do Rmutate-H, you're going to go here to miscellaneous, and you'll see here we've got the help on translations, and here we go. So we're going to see what it looks like, we're going to use Rmutate. B for base64, which is the input type, the output type, we want to see what it is. So ASCII contents could be CB for clipboard, PP if you're piping into Rmutate, or your content quotes. And then hex mods we're not using right now, but it's very useful in manipulating the way hex is printed to the screen, or what kind of hex is taken in. Okay, so we'll take this here. It's in my clipboard, so Rmutate base64 ASCII CB. And this is the code. So the first issue I have with it, I have 4 problems with it that were all fixed using Rmutate. But the first one is this is not zips base64, it's just base64. Second issue is that these variables here could be much shorter, saving you bytes, so that's the second issue. The third issue is that you're limited to the Python code, here the shell reverse TCP. For example, what if you wanted to modify the way this code looked? You'd have to literally rewrite it, make your own module. So that's what Rmutate does. It lets you take in your own Python code and then import it instantly into Metasploit. And then of course the third issue, which is one of the bigger issues, if you do tactec platform Linux, to get a Linux reverse shell, it says it is incompatible with payload, so Metasploit does not convert this to shellcode with the Linux or OSX header. And so, now that you know the problems of using MSF Venom, let's see how Rmutate improved on these issues. So if we do Rmutate-H, we're going to go here to Rmutate-help-parse, like what we did in the last video. And in the last one we used fx to file the hexadecimal. This time we're using file the base64. So take that, and here it is. We have Rmutate base F6. You put F64, F6 for short. Path to file, API wrapper, which would be these options up here. We're going to use Python 2. Since Python 3 is not installed on OSX by default, and then the mods, and we'll go through some of those. One that won't be introduced in this video is this PHP wrapper, which I highly suggest you look into. It can be very useful for web exploitation. Alright, cool. So now I'll just do Rmutate tech. Oh yeah, so we gotta get the code. I made a website, and if you make yourself an account, you'll be able to post your own code on there. So, and it's a WordPress website. You'll get author access, which means you can make your own post without the permission of the owner, being me. And if you do it, let's say in this case it'd be Python code, just put your code in brackets. It'd be like this, Python code here, and then you just close it out with Python, and then that way you'll get your syntax shown. So here, for example, is my Python example. And what this does here is we're going to give it an IP. We're going to have the port start, high port, which would be 7. And what this does is this is a multi-threaded reverse shell, so what's going to happen is we're going to start off on port 5550 and then increase it. And every time we increase the port, we'll get a new connection until it goes around the circle again. And it will send a connection every 2 seconds. Of course, if this is an enterprise environment, you want that to be much higher to not set off IPS or IDS. And I've got this link here in my GitHub, so we can just easily copy that. And now we've got the code. So now when I hit enter, you're going to get a very long code, and I'll show you how to decrease its size. So as you can see, it's basically 1500 bytes, and when you put this in, you'll instantly get the Rmutate ready syntax, starting with the S for script, ending in the JCP for jump call pop. And if you don't know what that means, well, you actually probably remember in the last video we used jump, call pop, jump down, call the code, and then we popped it to the register that we're going to use to write to the file system, or to the file system. This one, it's popping into memory. So it's very similar context. I won't be going through the content because the assembly code this time, but as shown in the previous 2 videos, you know how to get it if you want to look through the code. Alright, so now that you have that, we're going to start using some mods here. So if we want to do taco for obfuscate, what this does is it changes the code, so it will give you'll shrink the size of the variables to say bytes, and instead of 1500 bytes, we're now down to under 1000. And now that we can compress it too, so we're using zip here instead of just plain base 64, and we're now down to under 700 bytes, all the way up from basically 1500. So pretty big decrease, more than we decreased it by more than half. So now that we have that, let's make the shell code. One other thing. With OSX, if you make a shell script and you click on it and it finishes, the window will still stay up. Of course, we don't want to alert our victims, so we're going to use OW for OSX window. And that will add in here this kill all terminal, and so it will run as a banner. Now, this is also automatically set to the clipboard, and if you use the tag, this could be helpful to you if you use a global parameter tag X, which always comes at the end if you want to use it, and then you put in the file, send it to a file, and then output alias for cat file. Here's the content, and then if you were to do it again, it just would override it. But if you put 2 X's, it would append to it, so that can be useful. Mainly because if you use std out, you get all the content instead of just what's important. One last thing is if you just want the obfuscated content, you could use S for script, and then you just get that, and that's the same principle for getting that content too. So output file and now it's for script. Great. So obfuscate compress OSX window. And now center the content is sent to our clipboard as always, unless you specify otherwise. So script that tag jump call pop, and notice we don't have to have double spacing here because we're using jump call pop, which runs everything as an environmental variable, and all that is taken as a string, one argument to bash command. Now the directory file is before test base name, multi-threaded shell, and platform OSX. And there's our code. So I'm going to swing over here. And notice that there's no reverse shells running right now. component. Notice it went to the background. And this is the only kind of reverse shell that you can execute first, then connect. So we got 1, 2, 3. So now we're in. Also, because this is a PQY shellcode instead of a sub-process like what you would see from Ventos Monkey, that's why we're able to get the color coding here. Now, and hopefully enjoyed this. So, and this will work for both Ruby, Python, PowerShell, Bash, and Batch. There'll be another video series for using it in PowerShell. It's got some different style of usage that you're going to want to know about, syntax. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade the shell. So, for example, the reason why you'd want to know how to do that, if I were going to do something like, who am I, right? And then maybe go to cd, just doing some commands. Now I'll press up, and it's not going up like it's an actual shell. Or if I do something like vim, and I press back, it's not going up, I can't use it right. Let's say I want to exit out. Still works to get out of it, but obviously the functionality is extremely limited. So in the next video, you'll have full functionality over your reverse shell. So hopefully you enjoyed this, learned something. Don't forget that you do have the, just if you want to instantly send this to Metasploit, just be a Rmutate tech, help tech, MP, Metasploit payload, and this is the help on how to get that. Alright, see you in the next video.